Okay, hello guys. Good afternoon, and welcome to another video tutorial by Nocode Africa. And for real, today is going to be a very interesting day, and we're going to learn some really cool stuff today. I really hope that a lot of persons turn up so they don't get to miss out because this one might even be a little bit difficult to watch the tutorials later. It will be easier to like listen to the training in real time because in the training you get like a first impression. All right, so while we're going to wait for a couple of persons to join the session very soon, so I will just like say whole lot to a couple of persons here. Yeah, Joy was already here a long time ago. Yeah, Joy, well done. Hezekiah, Bami, Peter, Abiodun, Aisha. Okay, so welcome guys. Welcome to today's class. I really hope that you have like maybe coffee beside you or maybe just a glass of water because it's going to be intense. It's going to be beginner friendly, right? That means there are lots of things that I will cover all over again from scratch, right? Because this particular tutorial is supposed to be like comprehensive, like it should be like a full package, right? That means if somebody watches this tutorial, if somebody goes through this training, the person will be able to learn a couple of things. So let me just recap because let me go to the channel and check the contents there, right? So so we're going to just use this period and wait for others to join the the tutorial. Okay, so but while that is going on, I'm going to just tell you what is going to like what is going to be possible to achieve in this course. All right, so in this particular training, you're going to learn how to create a login and logout and authentication functionality in FlutterFlow. I know you've already done that before. You have, we've done it before, but since we're building a dating application, you know, some sort of clone of Tinder, right? So it definitely has login, logout functionality. So we're going to create it all over again. And of course, if at all you're a new person, you're going to learn how to do this as well. And then also, we're going to learn how to create collections in Firebase and in Flutter. We're going to learn how to create a chatting feature, all right, in your application using FlutterFlow as well. We're going to learn how to create and use custom functions. So I know this is a no-code course, right? And we're not really expected to, write codes, but sometimes it's actually almost unavoidable that even with a no-code tool, you're going to have to like write some few lines of codes, and for real, it's not really that long, and it's just good. Okay, so I think, but in the future of no-code, right, it will be like 100% no-code. Yeah. So, but no-code is currently like evolving. And then also in this tutorial, you're going to learn how to create conditional actions within FlutterFlow. You're going to learn how to create forgot password functionality. We've done that before. And then finally, you learn how to create phone sign-in. Like these are the small features inside the full course. Okay, so you're going to learn all of that, and so we're going to start any moment from now. Okay, so let's just wait a couple of seconds, minutes, yeah, for others to join. So this is 5 minutes past the time. Just let's give it one more minute for a lot of persons to join. Let me try to put it up again on the community so a lot of people can join. All right, just give me a minute or two. Okay, guys, thank you very much for your patience. We've used like extra 2-3 minutes to wait for more people to join, and I think we have done our best to wait, so far. Okay, so we're starting already now. Just like I did before, I will just greet the new people that joined. So, Inyene, welcome. Inyene Agro, welcome. Chika, welcome. Peter, Jay, Lintucci, Bethan, Valari, and Mecca. All right, so welcome, guys. We're going to start like right now, and just to recap what I said before, we're going to learn how to build a dating application, right? And it's going to be a full package, right? So you're going to learn all the little tiny things that are inside the dating application, like the login logout functionality. You're going to learn how to create collections in Firebase and FlutterFlow. You're going to learn how to create a chatting feature in the application. You're going to learn how to create and use custom functions. You're going to learn how to create conditional actions within FlutterFlow. You're going to also learn how to create forgot password functionality, and then create a phone sign-in as well. So I know that most of the things that I just mentioned, you've already learned them before, but we are going to learn it all over again because I had already stated earlier that it's beginner friendly, and I want it to be like as beginner friendly as possible. Okay, so welcome to the training, and we're starting away. I'm gonna share my screen now, and we can start everything all over. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. Okay, all right, so like we always do it, I always create some sort of user flow or explanation using Whimsical so you can understand what we are trying to do here. Now, first of all, there's a platform called Tinder. I don't know how many people know about Tinder here in the class. So let me be sure I can be heard. Okay, yes. So all right, so there are lots of there's a platform called Tinder, and Tinder is a dating application where you can actually go sign up and then look for a date. Okay, so a guy can go and look for a girl, a girl can go and look for a guy. All right, so that's like the basic thing. And on the platform, some few things happen, and I'm going to mention here. So if at all you're a new user, you can go ahead and then register, and then after that you will see the available options. You'll see people that you have not matched with, and you also see people that you have not rejected. Okay, so now the platform allows you to swipe left to reject people, and swipe right if at all you want to match with them, that's accepts them. Okay, so the very first screen that you see, let me see, did I have a screenshot on that? Let's go ahead and just quickly just check it here in Google. Tinder. So let's look for images and just quickly look for something that shows. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Let me try to open image in new tab. So this is how it looks like, right? So you have a profile of a human being. All right, so in this scenario it should be a girl looking at this profile of a guy. All right, so she could actually go ahead and click on X, right? That's to reject it, or she can also go ahead and click on the green heart to match with this person, to like this person. And on the other end, if the person also goes ahead to match them, that means click on the green heart, they automatically become a match, and then Tinder allows them to chat with themselves. Okay, so that's like how it works. This is Tinder. All right, so now we are going to be trying to achieve the same thing here with our application, right? So this is like the very simple flow. You have the login here if at all you've already created an account, or the register button if at all you've already registered before. And then you see the available options, which comprises of the people you have not matched with yet and the people that you have not rejected. Okay, that's basically how it works. And then under these particular features that you see, you can now go ahead and either reject them or match them. Okay, so if at all you reject them, somehow it goes back to the database. It's recorded in your database that you've rejected somebody. it's also registered in your database that you've matched somebody. But now the situation happens that if at all you have matched, you see a match screen that says, congratulations, you have been matched. You found a new match. And then from there, you guys can now go to the chat screen. So this is going to be a very long class. Yeah, so that's why we are having two classes today, because we can't exhaust the entire tutorial in one class. So we're going to break it into two classes. We're going to do the tutorial from registering like when users get to register, and then we reach the point where we can show them the available options. Then from there, we'll reach the point where they can reject or match, and then we will pause it. Then from there, in the second class, we'll continue and complete it. So everything will be done today, and after that, it will be possible for you to create a dating application for your client. All right. Okay, and the people that end up being able to understand this very well and will be able to manipulate it to our client's desire, because what our client requires is a little bit tricky than this, but this is going to give you a background of how to do it. Okay, so I'm saying that with regards to the available jobs already. Okay, so right now, what we need to do is, I'm going to show you something here. This is a snippet of our database, like what we have in our database. And we're going to have a users collection, which is of course going to be created automatically, but we are going to populate the fields for us. So here I will just be using 4 users. All right, and then these 4 users, they have their fields here filled already, right? So there's age, there's bio, like a description, there's the time the account was created, the desired gender. This is the gender they want to match with. Okay, this is the gender that they want to see when they are looking for a date. And then this is their displayed name, their email address, then the gender, that means their sex, their gender, and then the location. All right, and then we have an array here which is matches, and then we also have another array here which is rejected. It is a list, so that's why it's an array. And then we have the photo URL, which is image here. Okay, so this is exactly what we're going to create, and then we will do that right away. Okay, so let's go ahead and create it. I will come here to FlutterFlow, and then I will just go ahead and sign in, and we're starting all from scratch. And so we will start from the basics, which is creating the, what is it called? Creating the basic structure, right? Basic structure of the application. Now, there is something that I have done in advance to help you, because let me show you something. Meanwhile, let me show you something. This is a similar project to what we are working on. This was when I was building it to teach you guys. Now, let me show you. Let's try to create this is an old project. I want to show you something which is going to allow me to explain what I'm about explaining. So let's click to create a new page. And then here, when we're trying to create a new page, we need to look for, of course, we're not going to create it from scratch. Like we're creating it from scratch, right? But we're not going to design, like spend time on design, right? Yeah, if you know how I teach, I basically focus a lot on functionalities, because I know that if at all you're a UI UX designer, or you have a UI design for your stuff, it's easy to implement that one. What really matters usually in applications is like the functionality, but you have to also make sure that before you finally complete the application, right, it looks really, really cool. Okay, so, and that's where the UI comes in. So now, for us to build something like this, we need a template, all right, a theme that has a chatting feature inside it. So if at all we come to, let's come here to maybe chat, you will see, no, let's come to authentication, right? If we come to authentication, you will see some templates here, and we need a template that has a chatting feature, all right? So let me see, where is it? Okay, I think it's under here. All right, so there are some themes here that actually do have chatting features. I can't seem to find it right now. Okay, so here it is. This is a theme that has more like a chat page that has a a chatting feature, because for you to create a chatting feature, it's a very complex process, right? Very complex in FlutterFlow, right? So I wouldn't advise you at this stage to try to create it from scratch. So now if you observe here, this is a premium template, and then also for you to create a chatting feature, which we need to have in our application, you need to be a premium user, right? So but I needed to make sure that you guys are in an institution whereby you can actually what is it called, get to practice what I'm about teaching you guys even without being a premium user. So I went ahead and did some really cool stuff. What did I do? I found a particular template in that marketplace, and then I went ahead and customized it and made it available for you guys. Let me show you. So if you come here to the channel, um where is it, where can I get that easily? So I'm trying to assess the ongoing YouTube live. So if you come here to, like, if you check your description, right? If you check your description, you're going to see the description of this ongoing video that you're watching on YouTube, right? So you'll see here that I have provided some links. So here is a link to a custom code using the project. I have provided that so that you don't get to like type a lot. I will explain what the code does. I just want you to copy and paste it and use it. All right. So I don't want you to like give yourself a headache on how it works and all of that. And then here also, I've also provided a template you can clone as your base project while trying to implement, the dating app within FlutterFlow. So I don't want you to like stress yourself up and try to like bother yourself on lots of things. So you can just come here to the link here, the description under the video. Not right now, but just go through the tutorial first, and then you click on it. It will take you to this clone. All right. So and then you will see the project. It's gonna take a couple of seconds to load, and then you'll be told to clone the project, right? So this is it. You can now go ahead and clone the project. Now you will have some couple of errors, which I will show you how to fix it, right? So this is a template that I got from the marketplace, but I got it in a tricky way. Okay. So and I didn't really want to make you guys like go through that stress of having to find a way to get it yourself. So I got it. Then I made sure that I made it possible for you to get access to it. So when you click on that link, it will bring you to where I am, something like this. That means inside your FlutterFlow, then you see this clone project, right? So you see the clone project icon here. So what you just need to go ahead and do is click on the clone and then start doing some basic settings. So we'll click on the clone here. And then when you click to clone it, it's already available for you right now. Okay, you see, so it's available for you, but you have a couple of project issues. Now the project issues is associated with your Firestore setup. That means there's no Firestore associated with these. And then we've not set up the Firebase storage and a couple of other warnings. Okay, so this is how we're going to do it. Now we have started already, so we will come here to the widget. Don't forget how we got here is you go to the description in the video, in the tutorial, you click that particular link, click on the clone project, and then you have this. From having this, we will go ahead and then build on top of this, because now the reason why I wanted you to have this theme is because it has a couple of contents that we will need to use. Now the major reason why we're using it is let me show you here. It's the where is it? Okay, so it's basically the chat details and the chat main. All right, so it's basically the chatting feature here that made me create this for you, because it's difficult to set up all of this. Yeah, and then of course when you're setting all of this, you also have to go ahead and set up the database too. But now if you clone this project, right, so you're going to have access to these chat details, right? This chat detail screen. You have access to the chat main, which is the screen that shows the list of all matches. All right, people that you can chat with. And then also when you clone a project, you also clone the database. So you see here, you see a couple of properties here, right? So I think later on I will try to clean this clone a little bit and remove so many of these things, because in this video now we have to take up a lot of things, right? So I will try and clean up the clone a little bit, so that when you clone it, it will no longer like you won't have a lot of things to delete. But here we're going to have to delete a couple of things. So let's go ahead and click on reviews and delete this. This is coming from the templates that I got it from. Okay, basically just the template that gives me the chatting screen. So I'll just delete the collection here, and then I'll go to trips and just delete it, delete the collection. Okay, so payments, I don't need all of these things. I just need users, chat messages, and chats. I don't need any of these other things. Okay, so because they're not necessary, we come to amenities, just delete it. Bookings. All right, so these are collections that came with the screen with the previous template, right? So now you have like up to four issues. I will show you how to set up the whole thing and not have those issues. Okay, so we'll go ahead and come to, now we've done that. We have users, we have chats. If you can see down, we already have the schema for chats. This is something that would have taken you a lot of time to do. Users, user A, user B, last messages. I don't want us to go through that entire process. Then chat messages and all of that. So we have these already ready made for us. And what we need to just do is set it up. So you follow the steps and clean it up like I'm just doing right now. And then the next thing I need us to do is, let's go back to the widget tree. And then we have change password. It's okay, we need it. Come to chat details, we need it. Chat main, we need it. Create accounts. This is the login screen. I don't want us to use this login screen, so I'll just take it off. So delete it. And then this particular one, also take it off. So I don't want us to use this. And then amenity checker, we don't really need this. Then there's home. Okay, let's see. I should be able to delete this. Okay, that's gone as well. So now we still have like 5 issues here. Don't worry, we're gonna fix up that. Let's go ahead and then do some basic. Let's bring in our login screen. So we click here to add a new page, and then we'll go to authentication, and then scroll down. I'll pick this. I prefer using this page a lot. So I'll call this login. All right. So this is our login. I'll click on create page. Then you know how to set this up already, right? So first of all, we have to go ahead and click on this to take it off. Click on the social login role. You see here, take it off. And okay, so click on this and take it off. Click on the row and take it off as well. Forgot password, we need it. Let me bring this down so you don't think that it's part of the design. Okay, so then we click on the sign up here, and then we come here to social login role and delete it. Then we click on this and delete it as well. So then delete this row. Okay, now we have a little bit clean scenario here. So we come here to FlutterFlow, the logo part, and then we delete it. Then in that logo container on the left hand side here, you click on it, and then you add a text inside it. So we will just come here on the right hand side, highlight it, and write there Tinder. Okay, so we need to scroll down, come to the font size and change it to 36. Come to the font weight and change it to maybe 700, whatever works for you. I just want to make it bold. Then click on the text color to change the color. So I have it here, Tinder. We still have 6 issues. Now, so of course, when you're using this as well, you'll be encountering the same issues like I am encountering. So I'm going to show you how to fix them one by one. Now we have a login screen. All right. So the next thing we need to go ahead and do, let's look at the issues. It said widget configuration, max line must be 1 for password. Okay. So basically we have to click here on the password, enter password, and then click on it. Put 1 in your max line. I know you already know that that's what we should be doing. Then come here to sign in, click on the password section, and also put 1. Okay, so all right, so now we have this. Now this is basically for beginners. All right, so I'm setting up the login functionality right now. I don't want us to not have a tutorial that doesn't start at the beginning. Maybe start somewhere. I want you to have like a full tutorial. That means if you do exactly how I'm doing it, you're following my explanation, and then you're also paying attention to the things that I am saying, then you should be able to achieve the same result. Okay, so now our errors has reduced from 6 to 4. Let's check out the other thing. So it says here, custom function has one or more invalid arguments. Now you can go ahead and just click on this. It will take you to the custom functions. Now these are custom functions that came from the templates, so we don't need them. Okay, so you can just go ahead and click on this. Where is that place? So you just hover on it and delete it. We don't need any of these custom functions. We will create our own custom functions ourselves. So I'll delete it as well. Okay, you see, now I have only 3 issues. Okay, 2 issues. We're almost done. Okay, so one of the things I might do for you guys is that I might go ahead and then improve on that clone by adding these functionalities like the login screen, set up everything and really clean it. But I wanted you to see how I can do these things too. Okay, so I don't really want you guys to be lazy. Okay, so let me just check whether everything is going on fine. Okay, everything is going on fine. All right, so where were we? Where were we? Where were we? Okay, this is where we were. Okay, so here it is. And the next thing we need to do is fix these remaining errors. So we click here, we come here to Firestore setup. So Firebase, it says the Firebase index is not properly deployed for your project, Firebase setup and all of that. So you can just click on it. It will take you to where you need to fix up something. It says Firebase index is not properly deployed. Okay. Tap on settings to view deployment options. Okay, so we will do some basic things to be sure that then it said set up Firebase storage. Okay, so now all these errors are as a result of the fact that if you come here to settings, right, and then you click on Firebase, you see we don't have a project ID. We have not connected this FlutterFlow project to Firebase. So how do we go ahead to do that? We need to go ahead and do that by coming to we can just click here, and then like we need to just go to firebase.com and go to the console and then explore the add something to it. So yeah, you can see here this was when I was trying to build the test project so I can teach you guys. Okay, so I will click here to add a new project, and then I'll call it Tinder apps, maybe something like this, just to make it different from what I did before. So Tinder apps, then I will say continue. I'll turn off the Google Analytics for this project, then I'll create project. Now the thing is this, right? FlutterFlow project doesn't work without a database, right? So you have to connect your FlutterFlow project to Firebase so that it can have a place where it can store its data. And that's basically what we're doing. I'm saying this for the new guys, people who are maybe just checking out the video for the very first time and they don't have any idea about FlutterFlow or Firebase. Okay, so if you follow these steps step by step, you get the same result. And of course, I will try as much as possible to explain and explain and explain until you get it, because my objectives is being achieved when you understand it. So I'll click on continue, and then it's going to usher me into the dashboard of my Firebase project. So you see here it says Tinder apps, and then this is like my entire project. So now the very first thing you need to do is you come to this gear icon, the settings, you click on here, you click on the project settings, and then you go ahead and then copy this. All right, so you copy this is the project ID. Please don't copy the project number. Some of the students made some mistakes and they went and copied the project number. Please don't copy the project number, just copy the project ID here. Okay, so when you copy that, then go to Tinder, not go to Tinder, go to FlutterFlow and then paste it here. Now before you click on connect, you have to go back to your project here and then go to users and permissions, because now you want to give permissions to Firebase to get connected to your FlutterFlow. How do you do that? You add it as a member. So you add it as a member. How do you add it as a member? You add their email account, which is firebase@flutterflow.io, Simple. And then you go ahead and then choose your edit the roles here, and then you give them an editor role, and you click on done, you click on add member. So like that, we already have we've added FlutterFlow to the, what is it called, to our added Firebase as an editor to our FlutterFlow project. So let's get back here and then click on connect. When we go ahead and click on connect, and then we go ahead and regenerate config files, please don't forget you have to regenerate config files. Regenerate config files is going to provide some little tiny bits of data that your FlutterFlow project requires to run smoothly, all right, while communicating with Firebase. Okay, so that's basically how it goes. And then so now we're going to wait for a couple of seconds and then it to finish configuring the files. And the next thing we're going to do, all right, so we still have those errors, all right, so we still have the errors. We're going to just do a couple of things to take off the errors. So now we have it says Firestore setup, Firebase index not properly deployed for your project. Tap on settings to view deployment options. Okay, so so now this is it. We have to go ahead and deploy this. So we can click on this and deploy and wait for a couple of seconds. It said not deployed error. Okay, so we will leave that for now, right? I think there's some things that we have not done. Yes, we have not done exactly. So we will come here to, let's come here to Firebase project. We come to build, all right? And then we will set up our authentication. Let's go ahead and set authentication. So you click on authentication. This is where you choose and tell Firebase, okay, I want you to handle the authentication in my FlutterFlow project, right? So when my users want to sign in, they will use their email, they will use their password, and then they'll sign in. You will go ahead and handle the entire authentication process. That's exactly what we're about telling Firebase. Now, don't forget, we've connected Firebase to FlutterFlow and we've given them edit access. That means they can go ahead and then allow users to authenticate themselves through the application, right? So yeah, Firebase is a Google product and you can really rely and trust them. So click here to get started. So you click to get started, then you will need to do some basic setup, which is here. You come here to the native providers and then you click on it and then you enable it and then you click on save. All right, so later on we will still come here again and then we'll click on add new and then we'll use phone. That's when we are doing the phone sign in, but let's just do this step by step. So we've done the authentication. Good, we have done well. Then the next thing we need to do is we'll come to the build and then we need to go ahead and turn on our Firestore database. This is where informations will be stored. Now, there was a time that one of the students reached out to me and asked me, why do we need to go ahead and turn on Firestore database and still go ahead and turn on storage? Because inside build, there's another thing called storage. So I had to explain it like this. If you have a building, all right, if you have a building in your house and then you have a source of power, right? So you have a generating plant, right? So now the generating plant produces electricity, generates electricity and supplies it to your house. Now in the house, you have something called changeover, for instance, or even if you want to consider the initial source being like the switch in the generator, that could be the very first one. So that very first one is your database. That's the storage. Then the fact that you're now coming inside your house, you need to, that's your rooms, you might have parlor, toilets and different places. You need to still turn on the switches in each of these rooms. So the storage is like the big generator or the main power switch in your house, and then the cloud Firestore is the switches in your rooms. Okay, so that's like the simple explanation. But now in the situation of things, like the way it's arranged, you have to go ahead and click on the switches in the room first, right? Yeah, then before you go ahead and turn the generator. It's weird, we're doing it the other way around. So you have to turn on the cloud Firestore first, which is what we're about doing. You click on create start, then you click on start in test mode and then click on next, then enable, wait for a couple of seconds, and then by then you would have been done with setting up your cloud Firestore. So it's currently setting up the security rules, and then and voila, we have our cloud Firestore. Now the next thing we need to go ahead and do is we'll go ahead and come here and then we'll turn on the storage. Okay, so we'll just do these things, do it step by step like I am doing it, and I have already given you explanation and why. So click on get started and start in test mode. Now when you when you want to launch your application, like go live, right, you need to start in production. You have to come back and start it in production, because during your test mode, the security rules for test mode allows anyone with your story bucket reference to view it, edit it, and delete all data, right? So it's not really so safe. Okay. Now, by view, it doesn't mean they're going to be able to see like excessive confidential data like passwords. No, no one can actually get to see password at all in Firebase, because Firebase already hides it. Like it uses some scenarios to hide the password, so not even the developer can see the password ever. All right, so then we can click on start in test mode, and then you click on next, and we go ahead and click on done. Now with these, when we go back to our FlutterFlow project, we will see we will be able to deploy certain things that will fix the errors that we experience. So wait for a couple of seconds, let it finish setting up the security rules, and provide us with the little tiny bits of data that our Firebase and Flutter project requires to run. Okay, I hope you follow this. Now, if at all at some points you are lost, just try and go back and watch the video all over again, or just skip it back a bit. Sometimes when you're trying to learn these things, it might take a couple of time for it to really like hit your brain. But repetition is like the mother of memory, and that's how you develop a skill. So we will come back here to Tinder. I still keep calling this thing Tinder. So actually the FlutterFlow project is called Tinder. So when I want to come back here, I see here on the title here, and it says Tinder. So yeah, I mean, come back to FlutterFlow project. And then now we've come here, we can go ahead and say deploy and say yes, and wait for a couple of seconds, and voila, it's been deployed. We are fine now. So we have just one error left to fix. So it says Firebase index is not properly deployed for your project. So we click on it, and it brings us here. So yeah, so this is the Firestore settings. All we just need to do is go ahead and then deploy these Firestore indexes. So just click on deploy and wait for a couple of seconds, and it will say deployed. All right, so guys, we don't have any errors again. Our project is a go. All right, so here, this is like the base. I needed us to go through that process so you can learn, so that your brain can achieve some sort of plasticity with regards to the whole creating of FlutterFlow applications, right? And setting up stuffs and in Firebase. Now, repetition, like I said, is the mother of memory. I believe that if I keep saying this thing over and over again, and then you keep attending the class over and over again, you're gonna catch this thing, right? So okay, and then of course you have to practice it. So now we have the basic structure of things, and what we have to do next is quite minute. So we're going to go ahead and then set up some few things. I want us to set up like the full application. Don't forget, the class will last at least up to 1 hour 30 minutes. So I just want you to relax on that, and then after that we will discontinue and then continue again in the evening. Okay, so because it's actually going to be a very long class. Now that we've done this, what we need to go ahead and do is what do we do? So we have the forgot password here. I have done this before, but since I said it's beginner friendly, I am going to go ahead and then implement this immediately. So if at all you've known it, you can just go ahead and just know it all over again, which is good. And how do we set up forgot password here? So we already have screens for change password, which is when the user clicks on the login screen here, maybe they've forgotten their password, they can click here. It will take them to this particular screen where they need to put in their what is it called? They're going to put in their email address, and then they'll click here to send reset link, right? So that's it. We're going to set that up immediately, and it doesn't take us a lot of time to do that. So then but before then, let's go ahead and then set up our login page. Now observe, now just because we have this screen doesn't mean that if we go ahead and then preview it, right, when the user clicks on sign in, to just sign the user in. We have to do some configuration through what? Through actions, right? So we need to give an action to our button here for sign in. We have to give an action here for a button for create account. So let's start with the create account. So you click on create account, and then you come here to actions. So you tap on the actions, and what you need to do is go ahead and add an action, right? So guys, action time. So we click on this, add an action, and then what do we want to do? This is an authentication process, and we can only use Firebase authentication. So we click here for Firebase authentication, and then since we are trying to create an account, it's going to be create accounts here. So we click on create account. It will require us to provide the authentication provider, like select the authentication provider. So I'll click here and say yes, we want to authenticate with email. Now authenticate with email. Then the email field that you want to use it, the email field in the design, in the UI, right? What is the email field? So I'll click on it. It's called here the email address create. It was already named, okay, from our template. So then we need to come here to the password field and say password creates. Okay, so these are the two the two fields. That's the email field and the password fields that we're going to use in authenticating our user and creating accounts for them. So when they go ahead and put in the details here and the details here, we will go ahead and store those information in the database. And so we click here and it creates the account for them. So we're done with that. And then the next thing we need to go ahead and do is we can go ahead and come to sign in here. And in the sign in part, we click on the sign in button and then come to actions. I'm a little bit fast here because it's a beginner friendly, but I still need to hurry up. So I'll click on the action button here, then click on add action. And then we will say Firebase authentication, but we're now doing login. The other one was sign up, so we did create accounts. This one is login. Okay, so authentication provider with email as well. Then the email fields, it's going to be email address. Now those are the names of these widgets, the text field widgets, you know, because basically we use the text field. The team uses a text field. You can see here it says email address. Okay, and then the password field is password. Okay, so that's it. And all right, guys, so we're done. So it can sign the user in now. Now later on we can add extra actions like redirecting them to a particular place. Okay, so we will do that, but not immediately. Now what we need to go ahead and do again is let's go ahead and then do something really cool. All right, so what are we going to do? What we're going to do right now is we're going to create some scenarios. What scenarios are we creating? We're going to create a main page, right? Like when the users sign up, all right, or sign in, what page are they supposed to see? Now, we have a page here that says home, all right, but we're not going to use it. All right, I don't want us to delete it yet because we need to let's get a replacement first. If we delete it, we're gonna have one error. I don't want us to start fixing errors. So we'll click on new page. And then now, guys, we're gradually getting close to building the Tinder application. So we'll come here to, let's go to content. Now we're going to use a template, right? So template, here it is. We're going to use these templates to set up our main page. So I'll click on use this and I'll call it main. Now, let's see, main page, okay? And then we click on create. Okay, so now this is the main page. Don't worry, we're going to change up a lot of things here. We can click on this to change this from class details to main page. All right, guys. Okay, so this is going to be the image of who we are seeing. All right, let me see. Do we have some hands? So this is going to be the image of who we are seeing. All right, so that's basically it. And then this is going to be the name of the person. So let me just adjust some things and say name. And then this is going to be location, the location of the user we're trying to match with. Okay, this is going to be bow of the user. We can leave it like that. And we don't need this particular information, so we can take it off, take off the row as well. I just deleted, I just use my delete button. Then for all of these details, we don't need it. So I'll just click on one, go to the widget tree and look for the row that contains all of them. So it's this row that is called top friends. So I'll just delete the entire row, and then we have that. Now we have these scenario, right, for our application. Right now, what we need to go ahead and do is we're going to do some basic things, basic adjustments. All right, so what are the basic adjustments that we're going to do here? Let's go ahead and then duplicate this screen. You see this particular button? this button is we want to create like two buttons. One is going to be for reject. All right, so reject, and then another one is going to be for match. Okay, that means one is red, one is like green. Okay, so this is the button. So we'll click on the button and Control D, that's to duplicate it. Let me tap on it and Control D. No, that's not what I want to do. So Control Z. Now, okay, so this button is, I thought it was inside a row, but it's not. So you click on it, right click on it, and wrap widgets inside a row. We want to put it inside a row. Okay, so it's inside a row now because we want to put like two buttons side by side. So I'll click on the button now and Control D. So we have like two buttons here. All right, so let's click on the first button and reduce the size to 100. Okay, so we make it 100, and then this other one here, we just also reduce the size to 100. Okay, so now we have two buttons. One is reject, one is going to be match. So let me put this one as match so you can see. Then now I want them to be apart from themselves. So I'll click on the row itself, and then I'll come here to the main axis alignment and then use this evenly spaced. So I'll click on this. So we have reject, we have match. And then of course, the reject here should have a different color. That's the different fill color from match. So if for reject, everybody knows it should be red, right? So reject. And then for match should be like go, which is a good thing. So we say it's gonna be I'm gonna use green here, right? So but now let's come here and see if we can make it a bit darker. All right, so maybe a bit darker like this, since our text color is, oh come on, what did I do? I reduced the transparency instead of hold on guys, where is it? Okay, so here you go. What should I use? Maybe this? No, not that. I will go ahead and then bring this down here. Okay, so maybe bring this down here, push this here. Okay, so I'm trying to just get a darker green. Okay, all right, so we have a darker green, which is good. So we have reject and then we have match. Now we have something that looks like Tinder, right? So we're going to have the picture of the person that we're trying to match with. Then we have their names. And okay, so let's just do something else that is cool here. This is a row, right? This name is inside a row. So I'll just click on the text widget for the name and Control D, which is to duplicate. I want one of it to be the age, right? So we say age, okay? Yeah, because in our database, we're going to use name, age, location, bow, reject, and match, okay? So, but in some scenarios at this early stage, we don't have a description, a bow, so we can just leave it. So guys, now we've reached a point where it's really solid, that we are very close to beginning to see some reasonable features. It's going to get like really rocky from here on. Yeah, it's going to be some really hard things to take in. So I want you to like brace up, like, you know, it's something, there's this thing that has been usually been described in safety trainings. Like if at all you're about being maybe working in the oil and gas or in the rig, you have to do some sort of training for, it's called survival at sea, so that in case your helicopter is about crashing on top of water or something, you need to learn how to survive, right? So when the helicopter or the aircraft is about crashing on top of water, it is expected that the pilot has to let everybody know and tell them, brace, brace, brace. And that's like, it's a sitting position. You have to, like, you know, sit in a particular way to reduce all possibility of damage when the plane finally crashes on water. So at this point, I'm telling you guys to brace, 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 because it's gonna get crashy. Okay, so let's go ahead and then continue. So here we have our main page, and then we have our sign up and login functionality. So let's go ahead and delete this page that is called home. Right click and delete the page. Delete home. Now it's going to give us some error. You see here we have an error. And then how do you fix that error? Come here to settings, come to app details. All right, so the error is from, if you click on here, you see here it says authentication page setup. Logged in page specified in auth setting is not an existing page. You just deleted it. So we have to come here and select the logged in page, which is going to be our main page. And we don't have any issues again. Okay, so we've done this, and what else are we going to do now? Let's go to the hard part. Now the hard part, I didn't want to create it in advance. Yeah, so I want you to see how it's been done so that you can, follow through with the entire process. All right, so the next thing we need to do is come here to Tinder. That's so the Firebase project for our Tinder apps, and then we will come here to Firestore, and this is where we are supposed to have our user collection. Okay, something similar to what I showed you on the Whimsical. So something like this. We need to have at least 4 documents with pre-filled scenarios like this. Now the thing is this, in this application, right, we can definitely do some setup. Like we will have a profile page where the user can go ahead and then add their pictures, add their bio, their desired gender that they want, the email. Of course, when they sign up, just already their own personal gender. Yes, we will do that eventually, but just so that we can begin setting up the functionality, which matters to me most, right? We are going to have to create these documents in the database. Now, we're not going to come to the database and come and create a collection called users. No, it's going to be done for us automatically. So let's go ahead and then do that. Let's say, let's come to Tinder. And then what we need to do now is we're going to go ahead and test our sign up. What is it called? We're going to test our login sign up functionality. So just to avoid having any errors, let's go ahead and add one more action to our sign in. So if you sign in, it actually signs the person in. Let's click the action flow editor and add another action, which is to navigate the user to the main page. Okay, so navigate the user to the main page. Now we are sure that if the user's authentication process when signing in works, they should be ushered to the the main page. Then for sign up as well, so we click on the create account button, click on action flow editor, want to add an extra action to the create account. So after you've created an account, you shouldn't just hang there in the air or something. I know by default it should take you to the main page. That's any page that is called the home page. So but now let's just fix it such that we don't have any errors, so that we can avoid any extra wastage of time. So we said navigate to main page, and we are good. All right, guys, so at this point we will go ahead and test our application and run it. So it's going to take a couple of seconds for it to load, and just like you know how we do it, we will go ahead and wait because when it's done, it's going to pop up the notification here. So what do we do from here? Now what we need to go ahead and do is let's come to the Firestore. That's our database here inside FlutterFlow. We'll come here, and in users, there's some. This is the schema, the existing schema for our project, right? But these things came with the data, so we don't necessarily need all of this. All right, so we don't need it. You can just leave it like that, or you can, I don't know, delete it. So I think let's delete it just so that we can know what we're doing. So I delete that one. And bow, I'll leave bow there because we're going to use it. Number of properties we don't need. It was a real estate application, so that's why we're having field names like that. Number active bookings, we don't need it. Don't worry, deleting these things won't give you errors in your project. So user city, I will still create another field. I'll call it location. So let's just delete it. So we have email, display name, photo URL, UID, created time, phone number, and bow. Okay, so this is good, guys. This is perfect. Now what we need to do now is we have to go ahead and add other fields. Let's look at the Whimsical again, where we have some stuff. This is a snippet of the project. So we have age, right? Age is we already have bow, so we're gonna add a field called age. We're going to add a field called desired gender. We're going to add a field called gender. gonna add a field called location, and we're going to add a field called matches and another field called rejected. So if you observe, this is matches and it is an array. Basically, when you're setting up in Firebase, it says it's going to show you an array, but in FlutterFlow, you pick a list, right? So I will show you how that is done. So we'll click here, we'll come back. So let's start adding things. So we will say age. All right, so age is an integer, so we click on integer as a data type, and then we will say location. All right, so location is a string, maybe California, Uyo, Abuja. So location, then we need a desired gender. Okay, so desired gender is, okay, our application is finished running. Desired gender is you as a user, you have a particular gender you want to be matched with or you want to see. Okay, so according to the grand scheme of things, if you're a guy, you should be looking for a girl. That's according to the grand scheme of things. So desired gender here will be string. So because it's either going to be male or female, that's M or F. Okay, so we leave it like that. Then we come here to gender. All right, so gender is, what is your gender? And of course, again, according to the grand scheme of things, we're supposed to just have two genders, and that says male or female. Okay, so here it is also going to be a string. And then we have here, then the next one here is matches. Okay, so matches is going to be like the part where the list thing that I was talking about is going to be a list. All right, so we're going to turn on the list button here and then select string. So it's a list and it's a string, and then we check this, and then we go to another one that says rejected. Okay, the rejected is going to also be a list and it's going to be a string. Okay, and I think we're good like that. Come on. Okay, so oh, I I checked it and then I'm now trying to check something else. So list is a string and we're good. So let's go to whimsical and check out. So do we have everything? We have bow, we have age, rejected, photo URL is already there, and gender, location. All right, guys, I think we're good. So let's go ahead and then check our application. And now we have 30 more minutes before we end the class. So let's see how far we can go within 30 minutes. All right, so we are quite close now. And let's see. I'm waiting for it to load up. Okay, you see that splash screen? It's for the team. I will try to remove it. Yeah. So now we have our application. If you click to sign up, it will give you some errors, which shows that, okay, we are in good standing. The email address is badly formatted and all that. So let's sign up. So now, remember, we don't have any users here. So you don't have to come here and create a collection called users. You just need to go ahead and create them automatically from here by signing up new users. So let's start. No. Okay, so I'm just going to use existing emails to just sign them up. Okay, so that is it. And okay, so I'll go ahead and then create an account. So all right, so when the account is created, it brings us here. So as you can see, we are good. This shows that it's a button. That means there's an action to this button. We'll have to remove it because it's not supposed to be like that. And oh, I've actually made a mistake. I was supposed to add a logout button to this thing, but no problems. We will rerun it again. I have to close this. Yeah, because I would like to log out, but this thing is not going to log me out. So I'll just close it and then come back here. Name cannot be empty. Okay, this is come on. All right, so let's go ahead and I just want to run. I should have, okay, no, don't run it yet. Come here to the main page. I just want to add a quick logout button. It's just something we can be using to log out. So come here to click on main content, main column, main content, this one, then click on these and add, I'll just add an icon, right? So an icon, and that's it. That's an icon. Click on settings outline to change. That's click on this to change it from setting outline to another one. So I need a logout. So I want to use this. It's okay for me. I will give it some padding from the top. Let's say 50. Let's give it 100. Okay, so yeah, I know that looks ugly. Don't worry, we'll change it. It's just for the meantime. So I'll click on it and give it an action. I want it to be able to help me log out. So I'll click on Firebase Authentication, scroll down and click on Logout. So that's it. I now have a button I can click to log users out, because I want to be able to log the users out so that I can sign in another user. I want to create at least 4 users. So this is the one we're using. So I'll just go ahead and refresh it. You'll see the account that has been created. So we now have a user collection. Yeah, we now have a user collection, and then this is it. Now, if you observe, we don't have all these fields that we created in our backend, right? So, okay, so there's another way around this. I want us to be smart about this, right? Because we're supposed to go ahead and create like a document, add the fields, like add all the available fields, but that's going to take us a lot of time, right? So let's be smart about this. I want it to generate documents, but now I want it to generate blank fields, right? I wanted to generate blank fields, like it should create them, but the value should be empty. Let me try it out if it's gonna work out. If it doesn't work out, no problem, at least I tried it. So when let's come here to register. Let's come to, I just want to create it. I don't want to come do it manually, because initially I did it manually. I'll just click it, add document, and it's gonna take a lot of time. So, but let's see if I can just create it manually. Yeah, so sorry, automatically. Let's go to login, and before I sign up the next 3 users, because I'm going to sign up 3 more users, I want to go ahead and what? Okay, this guy has finished running, so no problems. I will even have to run it again. So when we click on create accounts, this is just something that I want to do to make things easy for myself, right? So when we are clicking to create an account, now look at it here. It creates a collection. All right, so it's collection called users. I can set fields. I can begin to set fields. All right, so I can set fields. So I can just set the fields and leave them empty, right? Or specific value empty. Specific value. Hold on, let me see. Is that gonna work? Specific value. Specific value. Specific value. Okay, yes, it's gonna work. So let's add another field. Display name, add another field, photo URL, add another field, UID. This one is supposed to just happen on its own. Add another field, UID. Okay, let's change it. Guys, I'm just trying to make things like easy for all of us here, right? So maybe a phone number, maybe. Let's go ahead and add another one. I want it such that when I sign up a user, it gives me the existing field already. I just need to click it to change the values, right? So UID, let's done phone number. Let's I think bow, add another field and scroll down. And it's not UID, it's going to be age. Add another field. We have a lot of fields, right? So I just want us, instead of us creating this thing manually as documents in the backend, right? Let's just do it. Did we do location? So location. Click on this, scroll down, change it from this, go to desired gender, add another field. The next one is going to be gender. Add another field. Click on this, scroll down, pick matches. Of course, it's an array. set value. Okay, so set, this is not gonna work. Ha ha ha. Let's see, add first item. Okay, matches. Okay, all right. At least we can just go ahead and create only matches and rejected. So let me click on this. Let me click on this and remove it. Okay, so now observe, guys, what I just did here. It's not even still working. I have to put values for these things. It's not going to work out. So we have to just go ahead and click and create them manually. I'm so sad. All right, guys, I'm so sorry. Okay, so pretty sorry, guys. Okay, so no problems. We'll just create them manually then. All right, so now that we're done, let's go ahead and create them manually. So we have the application that is waiting to show us itself. And then from there, we'll create the remaining 3 accounts and then we'll start populating it. I have to change that the next time. We'll start populating. Okay, so now you see it brings me here. I just need to go ahead and click on this to log out. I need to sign up another user. So another user is going to be me. Okay, so right then this. Okay, I'm gonna log out. I'm gonna create another one. Okay. And that there is no need. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to sign in instead of creating an account. Okay, so basically I'm trying to create new users. Then from there, I'll go and add the different fields in the schema in Firebase. So I'll log out and add the last user. Okay, so let me copy it out of here and put it here. Okay, so here we have these are the different things. Okay, so really cool. Now we have all the accounts set up already. So if we come here to Firebase, we will see we have 4 accounts. See, so guys, we have 4 accounts. We have 4 accounts already. Now, what I was trying to avoid is the fact that we don't have the other features. Like, see what I mean here? We don't have these fields, so we need to go ahead and add them. So let's do it. All right, so where is our, okay, so here I'll start from the beginning. So here for the first one, I will add age. Age is something you have to fix. Age is a number, please. You have to put a number there. So, and then we're gonna add another one. This is a boring process, but guys, we have to go through it. Location is a string. Let's just fix it at once. Lagos. Okay, so let's say gender. Okay, so the first 2 will be male, this last 2 will be female. So gender, we will say male, capital letter. So gender is a string, and then after gender we say desired gender. Okay, so desired gender, that was a male and it's a female. So gender male, desired gender female. And then let's say, what else do we need? We need a bow. Okay, so say bow. Bow is a string. We don't really need to fill anything there. So let's go here to matches. So matches is the array I talked about. So array, and then we click on add. And then we have another one that says rejected. Okay, so rejected, it's an array as well. It's a list. So array, we use list in the other side. So now we have these set up. If there's anything missing later, we will add it. Okay, so we need one more thing, and that's the photo URL. That's the image. And okay, guys, since we're doing it, let's do it at once so we can just know we're done with this part. So images of male. So click on this. I'll pick a picture. All right, click on it, right click on it, copy image address, and go here and paste it. So I got the value for that. Okay, so now we have that one. Let's go for the next one, and then we do the same thing to all of them. So let's say age. Age is don't worry, after this we don't have any lazy man's thing to do. So age is gonna be 34, and maybe add, and let's say this is location. Location is a string, it's Russia. In let's say gender, don't forget we are doing the first two is male. You can arrange it anyhow you want it, but I want to be able to remember what I'm doing. So add, and then desired gender is going to be female. Okay, so add, and then the next thing I need us to do is we'll click on bow. We'll just leave it empty. What else? Photo URL. Okay, so just watch it. Okay, so we need another male. Who do I pick? Great. Right click and copy image address and come here and paste. I hope that really works out. Why is it showing equals to? I need to pick something that has the JPG at the end, most likely. I think those are the ones that will most likely work. What do I pick here? Right click, copy image address. Okay, so that works. Then we need to add a gender. Okay, so gender is male, and desired gender, sorry guys, we'll soon be done on this, is female. And then we click on add, and what else we need to do? Matches is an array. Add, we need to do rejected, it's an array as well, and we click on add. Okay, so all right guys, so we have done for first two, which are both male, and then the last two here will be female. So let's start with bow. So bow, it's empty. Let's say location string, let's say wheel, and add, I'd say okay, photo URL. Did I add photo URL? Okay, yeah, I did. URL, photo URL. So full image is a female. Okay, so let's see. Great. Oh, no, I don't need something with a watermark. Or copy image address and paste it here. It's showing me this. I don't want to have any possibility of error in the design. Let's click on this on Splash. Should give us something good. Copy image address, and okay, let's just use it. If we have issues, we'll come and change just the images. Okay, so photo URL. Let's go ahead and add. What do we need to add? Matches is an array. Then we need to add rejected is an array as well. So what do we have left? Okay, gender is female, and desired gender is male. Okay, all right, so this is what we've done, and I think we've pretty much added everything that we needed to add. If there's anything that is missing at some point, we will just come and fix it. I like fixing errors. So let's add the last one here. It's bow. It's empty, and gender is female. Okay, then desired gender, guys, be careful please. You might have issues with spelling errors. So desired gender is male, so just be careful. try to make sure that you have very few, just use small letters and just follow what I'm doing. Desired gender, location, USA, and what else? Location, photo URL, let's get the last photo URL here for the ladies. Right click and copy image address and come here. Okay, so okay, very good. All right, so what have we missed? We have bow, desired gender, location, photo, URL. Okay, so we didn't have matches. So let's say matches. Okay, so matches is an array, and then we click on add. Rejected is an array, and we have add. Okay, so that's it so far. We have set up everything. Now this is really cool because we did it from scratch, and I am very sure that whoever is going through this course, like later, will really enjoy it because everything is done step by step. Nothing has been jumped, so that you will be able to know that if you're doing everything with the teacher, you should get similar results. Okay, so meanwhile, please, if at all you've not subscribed to the channel before, please just go ahead and click on the subscribe button. This is one way to support what we're doing here. And of course, if you like the video on what is going on, just give us a thumbs up. Thank you very much. And then if you have issues, just drop some questions and then I will be sure to address it even in this tutorial like right now. Okay, so we have set up these and our application is ready to go. Okay, so we have the database setup for us. We have the same setup here in the Firestore schema, right? So we have everything, it's working. Now for the chats and the chat messages, we don't need to create that in Firebase, right? So it's going to be created automatically because we have given Firebase an authority to go ahead and create collections for us and create stores for us, right? So no problems. Now we have reached this point. Let's go ahead and start really building the Tinder application. Now we have, by that I mean, let's start with the functions because that's like what really matters. Now here we have 10 minutes, or if you guys agree, we can, spread a little bit upward. But let's see. We'll try to see how we can stick to time. Maybe just 10 more minutes. Okay, so now here we have this is the screen, and of course you know that we have to catch the events. You need to catch the thing that is here. Like for us to be able to display stuff from the database, we need to catch it. We need to query it. And for us to query it, we need to go ahead and do a backend query. So we want to query the entire page. And how do we do that? Now, hold on, guys. I want to be sure that we are all fine. So I'm going to stop sharing and check. Okay, so we're here and we're all fine. So just so Joba said, this process is long. Can't we create a profile form to set up the user's accounts with these details? Okay, so now there is a way we can create this, and myself, I like doing things a little bit manual. So what I will do is I will create a tutorial, right? So I still want you guys to do it manual, learn how to do things manually, right? I will create a tutorial and show you how to use, there's a platform you can use to generate your data automatically and then import them into Firebase. There's a third-party platform. I will create the tutorial and show you guys how to do it. I'll just show you how to, import, like maybe you set it up there, like you fill in everything, like it's just be like a sheet, like you described a table. I don't know how to set it up from a table, but I know how to set it up from that platform. Okay, so now so then from there, after you've set it up, you can like import it into Firebase, right? So yeah, I know that process was quite long, but I wanted us to go through it together. And but I will still go ahead and like create a tutorial for that. Let's see another question. So let me see. Let's see. Okay, so for Ido, I think one of the things you can do is just increase your what is it called? if you go to YouTube, and if you go to YouTube, you will see a gear icon. So you click on it, is a setting icon, then increase the quality to 720 pixels. You'll be able to see clearer. That's a message for Ido. Okay, so what else? Same day delivery app for customer and delivery partner too. I will be waiting. Okay, I don't understand that. Okay, so let's go. I'm trying to figure out questions. Okay, this was funny. Why can't we use Boolean for the gender or desired gender? Well, we can. We can use Boolean for the gender, but I just prefer to make it simple. Yeah, so we're going to do it like that. Now, one of the things that might make it not possible for us to use Boolean is because there's going to be a particular time where we are going to do some querying. You're about seeing it. You're going to see it before at least this class ends, right? So we will say that, okay, the people that should see this particular screen, that first screen that is main page, the people that should see the screen should be people that we haven't matched with yet, or we haven't rejected yet. Those are the people that we should see. And then also, I think the next thing we should do there is we need to only see the people that are okay. Like, we're going to do something called the gender of the person that is going to be displayed on the screen has to be equal to the desired gender in the authenticated user, right? So now it will be difficult to use Boolean to do that. It will require lots of true and false scenarios and stuff like that. So it's better to just use what we use, right? Just string, like just use those stuff, all right? So I hope this answers your question, Jay Jamo, okay? So after creating an account, isn't the user supposed to create or complete? Yes, they're supposed to create and complete their profile, but I don't want us to go through that process yet. We will still create. If you observe in the arrangement of our screens, we have an edit profile screen. So yes, they will be able to do that at the end of the tutorial, right? We'll be able to create an edit profile page where they can go ahead and set up all those things by themselves. Okay, yeah, we'll be able to fix those things. I will show you everything. Okay, so but the way I'm doing it right now is easier and faster for teaching than the other way. Okay, so yes, Bertan, we're supposed to create a form first, right? But I am trying to do this because it's like way faster. Okay, so let's go to how do we create error codex? Wrong email, password, any in general. Can you please introduce error codex? Error codes. Okay, I don't quite understand that. Please, can you like paraphrase it? Esteem Tech, you can rewatch the video again after the end of the class. There's going to be like I think a 3-hour break, 3-hour space between let's assume we're ending by 4. So 4 to 7 is like 3 hours. So yeah, so you can use that period and go through the classes again. And then okay, so I think all right, so those are the questions so far. I just wanted to pause and then take the questions, and then we can continue. I will quickly like continue for the next 10 minutes, and then we end the class for now, and then continue again in the second part. So let's go. Let me present again, and I hope I've answered your questions. Please go ahead and then drop more questions if you have any issues at all. Okay, so let's come back here. Okay, so now this is where we start to do the real heavy lifting. The other one were like very little light things to do. Okay, so just like I promised, I will create a tutorial to show you how to actually import things into your Firebase directly from some sort of ready-made form. Okay, all right. What I need us to do now is let's see. What I need us to do now is we need to go ahead and query this entire page. So let's go to the main page. That's the top of the page, all of it, the main page itself. And then we go to backend query, and then we click on backend query. And then what we need to do is we're going to query the collection. Yeah, it's just basic query. And then what collection are we querying? We're querying users. All right, so now This is like the interesting part. So we are querying users and we are doing a single query, single document query. Okay. And then here we want to do add filters. So the very first filter that we're adding, we click on filter. We're going to say collection name. We're going to filter by gender, right? So we're going to filter by gender. We want to say that the authenticated user should only see a user whose gender, that's what is about happening right now, whose gender, okay, is equal to, all right, is equal to the authenticated users, let's go authenticated user desired gender. So now what I'm trying to say is this: if the authenticated user's gender is male, what should show on the main page when they are trying to get matched should be a female. That means the opposite, right? So this was what I was trying to say as an answer to the question that was asked. Okay, now that we have done that, the next thing we just need to go ahead and do is we need to also do another thing. And this one might be a little bit complicated. And after this, we will pause the lesson and then we'll continue again by 7 p.m. Okay. So because here it's going to give you some headache. We're about doing something called custom functions. So we're going to click here and add a filter. The filter is going to be user ID. Now the user ID, and I want to filter again. Now don't forget that there are two things that happens here. We said, first of all, we want the authenticated user to only see someone to match on the screen, that the person's gender must be equal to the authenticated user's desired gender. So if the authenticated user is a male, what should show on the screen should be a female, right? Okay, so that's it. If the authenticated user is a female, what should show on the screen is a male. That's the very first filter that we've done. Then the second part now is we want to also consider a scenario where the authenticated user, all right, has already been matched by the other person. All right. So if they've already been matched, I don't want them to, like, I don't want the person to appear here. If they've been they've been rejected before, I don't also want them to show here. So, you know, I can't reject someone and keep rejecting the same person over and over again. If I reject you once, you shouldn't be in the list of people I should see again. And if I've matched with you once, you shouldn't be in the list of people I should match with again, except at some points you delete me or something, right? So that's it. So that's the part that brings us to where we want to filter by the user ID. Now, why are we filtering by user ID? If you observe, okay, so when we come here to matches, right, in the Firebase, right, the database here, you see that we have matches is an array. That means we're going to put a list of things inside it. We're going to have one different things. And what are we putting inside here? We're going to be putting inside here user IDs. Now, what are user IDs? Each user here has a unique ID. This is it. It's also written here. All right. So this is their user ID. They're all different and unique. They are alphanumeric keys, right? So this is it. So now we want to use the user ID to filter what our authenticated user gets to see, considering all the different scenarios that I have already explained to you. So now, how do we achieve that? First of all, we're going to say the user ID, the relation should be not in. That means the user ID should not be found in the matches array or in the rejected array. All right. So we would have done it normally by saying, okay, now we'll go ahead and then go to the authenticated users, blah, 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 and then we set it up, right? But no, it doesn't work that way because FlutterFlow doesn't allow you to make conditions like negational conditions twice in one logical flow. Now, what I mean by that is you cannot say filter with the user ID that is not found in the rejected array, and also in the match array. You can't do something like that because I don't know, Flutter hasn't reached that point yet. FlutterFlow has not reached that point. So what we are going to have to do is we're going to create a custom function. That's what brings us to the next difficulty level in our training. Then after this, we're going to stop the training and then continue again in 3 hours. That's by 7 p.m. So let's come here and say custom function. We click here on custom functions, and then we say create new function. Now, this is how to create a new custom function. So I will come here and just say combine list, because now we want to combine the list. Of the people that are found in our match array and the people that are found in our rejected array, right? So we want to combine them. Now, I have clicked on this, and what we need to do now is we have here, it's going to be a string, all right, and it's going to be a list, and it's not going to be nullable. It will have something inside it, so it's not nullable. Then we're going to define some arguments here. The arguments here is matches. We're going to have one argument called matches, and it's going to be a string, it's going to be a list, and it's also going to be nullable. We leave it like that. Then we're going to come to add another string, and then another argument. We'll call it rejected. Okay, rejected, and then it's going to be a list as well, and it's going to be nullable. So like that, we have it. Now we need to go ahead and add some few lines of code here, and I'm not going to begin to type it. So I'm just going to show you, like, it's in the description under this video, so you can just go and copy it. So I made it available here, so you can just go ahead and copy it. And like I just did, just copy it and then bring it to your FlutterFlow and paste it. Okay, so like that. Now, what does this code do? Now, this code, basically what it does is that it goes ahead and helps you combine the list of the match array, the list in the match array and in the rejected array, and then it returns a new list, right? So that's the simplest way I can explain this. I don't want to begin explaining all of this to you, but I think in subsequent tutorial I will show you how to generate a sample code like that using AI generated code, which is how I got that. Okay, so now we will go ahead, and then after we've done this, we will go ahead and then this is still checking. So code analyzer is loading. When it is done, it will give us an information whether it is good or not. So let's wait for the code analyzer, and then when it finishes, we will stop the tutorial and continue from here, because with these we have done noble so far. I think what I'll just do is I'll click to save function. Yeah, so I'll click to save function, and then here I'll scroll down. You come here to matches, right? So this is the matches now. So this is the matches. Now we need to go ahead and give it a value. So we'll click here to give it a value, and the matches here is going to be in the authenticated user part, right? So we are checking whether we have matched with this person before or we have rejected this person. So we're going to the authenticated user, then we scroll down and we say user reference. Okay, nope. So we're clicking on this, and then we go to matches. Sorry, so we click on matches and we click on confirm. Okay, so that's it. So we're like giving it a value to our matches. Then we come here to the rejected part, we click on it, and then like this is where it gets, we created two arguments, matches and rejected. So where does this get its variable, its value from? It's getting its value from the authenticated users matches array, and it also gets it from the rejected array. So that's basically what we're doing right now. So I'll click on it, scroll down, and then I'll go to rejected array, confirm. Now we have a combined list, right? We have a combined list and everything checks out. Now the next thing we need to do, we need to make sure that we exclude the current user, that's the current user from this scenario. That's us, all right? So we're not part of this whole engagement. So after that, we click on confirm, and ladies and gentlemen, so far so good. We are really okay. So it says here we have some few errors. It says custom function needs to be checked for errors and all of that. Yeah, that's true. That's just how FlutterFlow works. So we click on it, and then it is currently checking. So when it finishes, it says no error. So now we don't have that. So you don't need to save it. Just click on here, and then it says Firebase index is not properly deployed for your project. Click on it, and then go to Firebase Firestore indexes and click to deploy. And then that brings us to the close of this particular class. Now, guys, let me show you what we have achieved. Now, we won't be able to prove this yet until we do a couple of other steps. Now, but we have created a scenario whereby we can properly see, filter what shows here. So how do we now use it? So we click on the image, we scroll down, changed it from image type as an asset to network, so that we can choose it. Like we click on this now and go to whose document is this? This is going to be users documents, not authenticated users document. So we scroll down and we go to photo URL. All right, and then we've picked that. Then we come here to name, and then we scroll up, go here, and then we have click on the users document, and then we say display name. Then we come here, click on this, come to users documents and pick on the age. Okay, age is a number, so we say number format, click on no formatting and go to custom and confirm. Okay, so it's the number. Then for location, we click on it, click on the icon here and go to users document, scroll down to location. Good. Then for the bow, we click on here and click on the icon, then click on users documents and scroll down to bow. All right, so guys, we are done with setting up this. Don't worry, we have a picture here. So we're done with setting up this and we're good to go. We will continue in the next class, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to give actions to reject, give actions to match, right? So give actions to reject, give actions to match, so that we're going to be able to finally have the users being able to chat. When they are a match, they can now go ahead and then activate the chatting part where they can go ahead and chat. All right, I hope you enjoyed the training, and we'll try to see how we can complete it in the next tutorial. Okay, so so far we have come to the end. Let's see. Someone said, I'm just joining the meeting. What action can we use to create an element based on a user's input? I want to add, say, a text box to the already existing number of text boxes without leaving the same page. This is not very clear. Please, can you ask the question again? Shodev, please try and ask the question all over again so that I can understand. I don't really understand what you're saying right now. So then Nicholas Martin, how many projects do you think you are good to have in a portfolio? If you have just 1 or 2 projects, it's okay, really. So if you have a project that has some very good level of complexity, not just having like a to-do list project or an attendance app project alone, like have a lot of projects that have some level of complexity. Okay, now the good thing about the training that we are doing right now in Nocode Africa, like this is the last week for Flutter development. Now, one of the things that we will do is we'll have just 1 week for Bubble. Yeah, we'll have 1 week for Bubble, because I want you guys to have some area of focus. If you don't like Bubble, then just focus on FlutterFlow and master it, right? Then the last 2 weeks will be for projects, right? Because we have the Nocode Africa training lasts for 6 weeks. So the last 2 weeks you're going to have to work on projects, right? So we will group everyone inside a group, like, all right, and then each group will have a UI UX designer, someone who is going to go ahead to create the UI for the project, and also will participate in developing the project itself. Now, this is going to be a good avenue for you to have a collective project that is going to be something that you have in your portfolios, individual portfolios, right? And not just that alone. By then, we should also be done with the MVP of Nocode Forest, because that's like where you will be able to put up the templates of your project and sell. So you guys will be able to begin making money instantly after the whole training. So how do you overwrite published pages? Made a mistake and did the correction after already publishing. I have republished, but the old app is there. So I think so this is not clear. How do you overwrite published pages? Oh, okay. So what you just need to do is, I made a mistake and did the correction after already publishing it. So just go ahead and republish it again. The new correction will take place. Okay. So that's like it. And just publish it, like click the publish button again all over again, and then you have it working. So all right guys, that's going to be the end of the class. We've done 1 hour 40 something minutes, and that's really deep, and we can just call it an end for now. All right, so do we have any other questions? Because if we don't have any other question, okay, so Betan's answer is also correct. Kofi, this is also a correct answer. You can also follow this process. Yeah, and Betan, thank you for that. So guys, I don't think we have any other question. In the next 3 hours we will have the second class, and it will be the concluding part of our training for building a dating application. So far we have covered some basic part. We have talked about how to create login and logout and authentication functionality, how to create collections in Firebase and FlutterFlow, how to okay, we've not done create a chatting feature yet. We've started working on creating and using custom functions. We've worked on we've not done conditional actions yet. We've created forgot password functionality. We've not done create phone sign-in. So at the end of the tutorial, we're going to do all of this. So all right guys, take care of yourself and see you in the next 3 hours. All right, okay, bye for now. And by 3 hours, I mean we'll get to see by 7 p.m. GMT plus 1. So that's the time for the next class, 7 p.m. GMT plus 1. All right.